Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Celine. I am a mental health therapist. I specialise in childhood trauma recovery, SRA and mind control. I am a spiritual guide and a healer. So in today's video, I want to talk about the importance of ego in awakening and ascension purposes. So the ego is our egoic mind, is our conscious mind. So it's programmed from birth by parents, society, schooling, and also known as indoctrination. You've probably heard that term. And the ego is programmed all the way through really until we start having this awakening. So once this awakening happens, the ego still stays the same, the conscious mind, and it's up to us to reprogram it. And by reprogramming it, we're then able to see through an entirely different lens and so perspective, and then we're able then to see through illusions. We can grow, we apply the knowledge we acquire into wisdom, start taking action around that. So reprogramming the ego, not death, as they like to call it in the 5D community, reprogramming the ego helps us in that awakening and ascension process. So there's a number of ways you can do this. You can look at spiritual concepts to help, such as losing blame, shame and guilt, understanding that we tell ourselves certain stories in certain situations, and that ego takes that on as well. And so when we're faced with something like a new relationship, our ego might say to us, "Oh, you don't want to do that, you know what happened last time." And so it starts putting barriers in the way and stops us and completely blocks us. So it's important within healing to work on the mindset aspect as well. Not everyone is going to treat us the same way. And if you understand what went wrong in the previous relationship, maybe it can help you set boundaries for the next relationship. If it was narcissistic, say, learning what the red flags were, whether it's narcissistic or just a toxic karmic relationship. And you can kind of learn and grow from that. And that's how we reprogram the ego. And then from doing that, we're then now starting to be able to see a different perspective on things. We can understand things in a different way. We can understand that the types of people that we're dealing with, these psychopaths, and kind of see through those illusions and the psyops that they put out there to keep us all trapped. And this is still happening. I won't go into who specifically, but it is still happening. Lots of psyops that people are falling for, and it just holds you back, so you can't advance in your awakening. And that's where the term woke comes in as well, because it's another thing that limits the mind into believing that it knows everything it needs to know, and so that holds us back from growing and learning more too. And there is always more to learn, always, such as like going back to the history of what really happened, relearning all that rather than what you've been taught at school, which is a lot of infiltrated stuff and quite far from the truth really of how things really are and how they work and how they've always worked for a very long time. So it kind of help you see as well that what's going on right now is nothing new either. Bringing in this new world order is, but the kind of things they do, these resets, using the Bible to reconstruct things, to bring more fear about, to make people believe these things are happening. There's all sorts of tricks and techniques that they use to create smoke and mirrors, like the narcissist does, and create those illusions. So I would suggest you go back and look at history as well. That will help you change your egoic mind. It will help you form new beliefs, because beliefs are also part of the egoic mind. So we might have false beliefs that either aren't true or they're someone else's beliefs that have been put in there and put on us to believe. So you want to get down to your core as well and think to yourself, what are my core beliefs? What do I believe? And anything else that you don't believe, throw that away. And that will help change that lens and perspective as well. Things that losing the pride, that also helps. So when you come across new things that might differ from your past belief, that you're still open to looking into that more and maybe accepting it as a truth to a degree at least. Obviously you'd have to use your discernment in whatever situation that arises in as to, you know, what level of truth that is. But the more you go along, the more your ego and beliefs will change, and it will help you then with other things that pop up along the way. So that's really why we need to work on our ego or our conscious mind, to really change that lens and that programming that we've all gone through. So this does also fall under healing. A lot of people think, well, if I haven't been through an actual trauma like abuse, I don't need to heal. Well, actually, yes, we do all need to heal, even if it's just reprogramming our minds so we can see through these illusions and just gain sovereignty back, really. That's what it's all about, being sovereign beings and not relying on other people to come and save the day, because that really doesn't happen. It's up to us to do it, and it is a journey and a process to get there, and there are steps you need to apply. So if you are feeling stuck, that could be why. Maybe you need to go and look at some spiritual concepts, such as what I've just talked about with reprogramming the ego, losing pride, for example, being more open to things and not just dismissing because maybe it's on YouTube or it's been dubbed a conspiracy theory, because that was put out there by the CIA. It was actually put out there before that, but it's most commonly known by a lot of people as being out there with the CIA during the Kennedy assassination. But they put that out there to cause even more disbelief. So then you've got people saying, oh, well, that's not true, it's just conspiracy theory. Well, that doesn't make it wrong just because it's got that label. A lot of time, the conspiracy theories are actually true. You know, again, depending on what it is. So, yeah, it's just quite a bit to think about, really. I am here if you've got any questions, as usual. I've kept this under the 10 minutes for once, so Insta and TikTok will finally have a video. I do suggest you join me on my YouTube channel if you haven't already, at Old Soul Awakenings. My content tends to go over quite often, so there's a lot more videos up there than you can see on Insta and TikTok. So I don't want to leave you out. Thank you for following me. So yeah, if you hop over to YouTube, then you'll be sure to catch all my content. There's also links below on the other places you can find me. The Narcissist workshop has just gone up on the website, oldsoulawakenings.com. You can order the replay of this now. It was live last week, so there's now like a masterclass up on there that you can buy if you want to. And it's just about empowerment against all narcissists, really, and how to build yourself up and protect against that. So I will leave it there. Thank you for joining me. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see you in the next video.